So I just want to dive into your background in music, and when did you realize music was a passion of yours and a dream you wanted to follow?
Ever since I was a kid, a young child, music has been part of my life. I grew up in a church where my father was a minister, and it had great music, and I ended up playing the organ when I was 10 years old and conducting the adult choir when I was 12.
Wow.
And music continued being part of my life as I then later went to study at the Conservatory of Music in San Juan, in Puerto Rico. It's hard to tell when was that moment, other than perhaps, I like to say that I did not choose music. I feel sometimes like music chose me at some point, and I didn't even notice that was happening. So it was very natural for that to happen, and before I knew it, I was very involved with doing music in different capacities.
Can you give us a little bit of detail about your role at Albany Pro Musica and what you're excited about the most this season?
So I came to conduct Albany Pro Musica here in 2014. And Albany Pro Musica continues to grow. It has had, before my arrival here, great reputation in the area. It has continued to grow spectacularly. We continue, in this case, now we became, since my arrival, we became the choir in residence at the Troy Savings Bank Music Hall. So that magnificent hall with incredible acoustic is now part of the DNA of Albany Pro Musica. We're very excited about that.
Amazing.
When you go to perform in that hall, it feels like magic. You have the history of the place, all the years of the great performances and performers that have been there, but also the acoustics, which is a great complement to what we do. Every season brings something special and something that excites me, excites our choir, excites the audience. The October concert is called I Dream a World. It's inspired on that poem, I Dream a World, by Langston Hughes, the great poet. He was called the poet laureate in Harlem, New York City. In fact, I'd like to read a little bit of that poem.
Go ahead, love to hear it.
That poem is really the foundation of this concert. The beginning of the poem starts with, I dream a world where man no other man will scorn, where love will bless the earth, and peace is paths adorn. So it's a poem about love, about peace, about understanding that we are one humanity.
Something we need right now, right?
Something that unfortunately continues to be a recurrent theme, right? So we have a phenomenal baritone coming from Boston, Philip Lima, who is going to join Albany Pro Musica in a concert that touches in the subject of love, justice, in understanding that no matter the color of your skin, we are one people. In Albany Pro Musica, we have a motto, which is music that captures the human spirit. I would say that this concert is designed to do just that.
It's beautiful.
Often we hear from people who come to our concerts for the first time, and they say, gosh, I had no idea that this quality and this kind of program could be found in a region. And then they get captivated, and they continue coming. So I anticipate this concert will do just that.
It's amazing. So you really do make it accessible for folks from all over to really connect with classical music when they probably would have never connected with it in other ways.
I think so, absolutely. I believe that people need to, we who are in the performing arts need to find ways to connect people to what we do. And you do it in different ways. In the way you program a concert, you do it with the kind of repertoire that you program. And that happens very often in our concerts. A good example of that is perhaps the concert that comes after that, the Christmas concert. We do that with a full orchestra, the ProMusica Orchestra.
Wow.
And we make sure that that concert has some of the greatest repertoire that is associated with Christmas, but also music that is associated with the secular festivities. So people of all paths of life will find it appealing. In March, we have a concert premiering a work by our composer in residence, Dr. Bradley Ellenbow. It's called A Star Song, and it's a music that bridges cultures and languages into one multi-movement work. And it will be fascinating. The composer will be here, and we expect to produce a professional recording from that. And then we finish our season with a call for peace, where we have the work Dona Nobis Pacem by Ralph Vaughan Williams. At the same time, or in the same concert, I should say, with Missa in Tempore Belli, which means the Mass in Times of War, by Haydn. So we have these two composers from two different centuries talking about the same thing, which is stop the war, it's better to have peace.
Wow, so there really is something a little bit for everyone.
Oh, absolutely.
So what about youth work? So I know you have some youth programs coming up. Do you want to briefly describe some of the opportunities you're having for youth coming up who are interested in choral and classical music?
We have an annual high school choral festival. This year we're very excited because for the first time we're going to do that in partnership with the University at Albany. So we have invited their new choral director, Dr. Michael Lister, to be the guest artist for that. And he is phenomenal working with youth. So students will go there. We had expanded our offerings for that event. And we're going to have different classes and rehearsals. And, but there's something very exciting happening that is unique to that festival this year, is that we're going to create an honor choir. And these are going to be youth selected from throughout the capital region who will have a chance to rehearse with me and with Albany ProMusica for that festival. But in addition to that, that group is going to be taken to the first ever ProMusica International Choir Festival. And that festival is going to be in Queen's University in Kingston, Ontario. Nice. That group is going to be taken at no cost. Transportation, room and board, tuition, everything paid by a generous grant. In fact, all participants will have room and board as well as tuition, but the delegation from the capital region will also have transportation paid thanks to a grant from Howard and Bush Foundation. Wow. So we're very excited because these are transformational activities for the youth that participates.
It's amazing. Well, it seems like Albany ProMusica and yourself are really providing a lot of support and a lot of accessibility for folks who do want to dive into classical and choral music.
You know, one of the things I love the most is when someone comes to me to say, I never thought that choral music would be part of my regular diet, and now it is.
And now it is.
And now it is.
Well, thank you. And thank you for talking to us, Jose, and spreading this knowledge for everyone. I appreciate it, and I appreciate you.